Bertram, and I'm coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. We made it to the Let's Just Stamp card making class. Yay! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, so I think it's always a little bit of a rigmarole now with the new way I have to figure out how to go live. And I started it, and then I stopped it, and then I started it, and it let me go back. And we seem to be live, which is exactly what I want to see, which is amazing. So all in all, what I have to do is schedule the lives, and I schedule them for 5 minutes prior to the start time, and then hopefully I can get it all situated. It's a little bit of back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, and then all of a sudden here we are, and life is good, and we're live. Yay! So, Angela, I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, I actually think I should just put it behind me, because if it's behind me, then I can reach it in case you're gone already, right? I'll put it right here is what I'll do, I think. That'll be fine. So, it's all good. So the rigmarole is I have to create an event in YouTube, schedule it all, and then go live in Switcher Studio, and then go live here, and then I have to end it here, and then end it here, and in the middle, try to remember everything that needs to happen. That's how it goes. So I'm very hopeful that all of a sudden they'll figure out a way for me to go back in the front door of how it used to be just easy button, button, button up here, and then life was good. So, we'll see. But that's what I've got going on, you guys. All right, so hi Judy Sharp, hi Marcia Long, there's Karen Wetstein, yay, Karen helped me out, you guys. So Jolene got the tutorial to me last night before I went to bed, and I had it in Karen's inbox before she woke up. She proofread it and had it back to me before I was awake, and then I was able to send it out to everybody around 10:15 this morning. So it was definitely a team effort to get you the Let's Just Stamp tutorial, and we appreciate everybody's help with that. Hi Angelique, hi Penny Powell. Oh, your stamps didn't arrive yet. Oh no. Yes, you would have gotten the card class because we would have mailed that out, I think, on Thursday. And that would be awesome if you did receive it, because that means that mail went pretty quick. I know, Judy Sharp, you said your package arrived about an hour ago. I think, Penny, Stampin' Up! With the whole start of the new catalog, they were taking 9 days to ship. And you're in Florida, so you're even a little bit further. So we'll have to see. Hopefully you can check your tracking and you can see that it's shipped already. And then you can check what day it's going to arrive, which is awesome with the tracking. Hi, Connie Moore. Hi, Donna Grushki. Hey, Debbie Gast. The stipple roses instead. There you go. That's a good idea. I love it when people suggest what they're going to use if they don't have the actual stamp set that I'm featuring. Hi, Randy. There's Jamie Kirkpatrick. Hi, Carol Alanis. Hey, Jean Maxwell and Mitzi and Debbie. And hi, Susan Bellamy from Florida. Okay, Mary Lemke needs to make some cards today. Yay! Hi, Debbie Briggs. Hi, Kathleen Ketterman. Hi, Tyra Marshall. Very good. Lots of you girls are rocking and rolling right in. That's awesome. So we have a great little class for you. These magnolias are amazing. I know that you guys like them because we sold out of this class last Friday, or I sold out of it on Friday. Diane has this class in person here in the Hive tomorrow night. She kitted up 12 sets of cards, and she has 11 signed up, which is amazing too. When she has that many for in person on a Tuesday night, that's a good sign. It was in Orlando. It was what? It was in Orlando on Saturday. Okay, so then it should be close to you very soon. Hopefully, I wonder why it's sitting there. Maybe it'll be delivered today yet. Hi, Melanie Foy. Melanie Foy, we still need to connect about your perennial lavender class that's sitting on the back counter. And there was something else that you had wanted as well. Hi, Jenna Helms. So these magnolias are pretty amazing. I think that if anybody would like to get on the waiting list for Diane's last class, you should either let me know in this mess, hi, Maria Gilbertson. Hi, Jennifer Summers. Let me know in the correspondence here, and I'll make a note of it. And she might have one. If she gets somebody that signs up at last minute, though, she won't have one because she would like to accommodate somebody that needs to be there in person. So, Jennifer Summers, I also have an email out to you. You guys, this is sometimes how I feel like I can connect with you guys. I sent an email out to Jennifer regarding I think it's the May monthly class. I think you had requested that, and I don't know if I saw an order or payment come through, and I wanted to make sure you wanted it before I shipped it out. So, Jennifer, if you could get back to me, that would be awesome. Amy and I connected a bunch this morning, so that's good. Hi, Amy. So that's good. That's good. Jenna, I hope you made it back from Washington, D.C. safe and sound. It sure seems like you did. And you can see that I figured out the way to go in the back door to Switcher Studio to do my lives, which is not the easy way, but we make it work. So, but Magnolia is amazing. Normally we do 60 for Let's Just Stamp, and sometimes we don't sell out. And this one, you guys are loving on them. So I can't wait to make these cards with you. We did get a little caught up overnight. So we did the kit class for anybody that missed it. The kit class was last night. I think I did that around 7:30. And then after that, I was able to sneak in publishing clue number 1 for Mystery Card Night, which we do have tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time. So in case you guys want to make another card with me tonight, you can catch that later. It's an easier card. The layout is pretty simple, I think, but it's still going to be nice because it has lots of layers. So thanks, Angela.
Thank you.
We'll see you later. And I think then we're on target to keep up with this week as normal. The In Color launch class will be on Thursday, which is what we're going to be doing the 5 cards that are here. All of the 5 new In Colors get represented, and we're doing 5 cards. I believe I have a couple spots left for that class in case anybody still wants to get signed up. I believe that I have more than a couple. I think I have about 4 left of that one. So in case anybody wants to get on that class yet, you can still reach out to me soon. I know that by the time the week ends, I probably won't have any left. So if you're looking for them, please let me know right away. Yes, it's good to be back live. The tutorial for that. So in case anybody's wondering, the next tutorial that Jolene's helping me write is the one for Thursday night. She had a goal to have it done today. Kelly is watermarking the photographs of the cards, so we can hopefully have that in your inbox. I'm not going to promise it by tomorrow, but I'm going to promise it by Wednesday so that you guys have that by at least the day before. It was a hot mess with everything with all of the last month, with a lot of you know what's going on. So that's exciting. And then there's still 2 makeup classes. One is going to be made up on Friday. I pushed it out to 4:30 only because I have both Diane and Gina who are going to be here throughout the day on Friday. And our goal is to get the Take to the Sky class designed in the morning. And then we're hoping to get another class designed in the afternoon. I think the Full of Life, which is the ink, paper, scissors. And so that's a big design day for us. And then the plan will be at 4:30 to do the Share, Create, Inspire class. So that's a makeup class from last week when I couldn't get technology working. And in hindsight or retrospect, I'm kind of glad I didn't do lives last week. It allowed my foot to not be down while I'm doing a live. And it was the second week after the accident. So it really allowed for my foot to heal better. So you guys were right. Everybody said, or anybody that told me anything said it was good that I didn't go live, because it was probably a blessing in disguise that the technology did. You gotta always look for the silver lining, everybody, right? So it's good the technology gave me the hiccup because it gave my body time to keep my leg up, which I did while I was in a wheelchair. And while I'm sitting here, it's really hard to get my leg up like even. So, okay, so there we go. There's one more class we need to make up, which is the May monthly class, which was supposed to be on the 9th. That was the first class. Again, probably a good thing I didn't go live that night because my foot was a little more swollen back then and it would have hurt more to keep it down. So I looked at my calendar and I'm going to move that class to May 28th at about 10 a.m. That is the goal. I looked at this week and we have 2 lives today. I've got 2 classes on Wednesday. We're kitting up Stampin' Fun in the Sun tomorrow. I've got a class Thursday night. Gina's going to be live on Wednesday morning. Going to do class on Friday afternoon, designing. It's going to be too much to try to squeeze one more class in. So we're going to push the May monthly class. So those of you, I will be sending an email out to everybody who's registered and signed up for that class. You have your kits. I might recommend you wait to watch the class if you're uncertain of the one surprise hidden card with the message. I want to make sure that you guys do that one correctly. And so I'm going to do that class on the 28th at 10 a.m. is my goal. And then we have ink, paper, scissors next week then as well on the 30th. And then just like that, it's the 31st and May is done. And I feel like it went right over my head. But hopefully you guys, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning with my specialist down in Watertown at 9 a.m. And I'm hoping that he takes x-rays and I'm not hoping, I know he's going to take x-rays. And I hope that they show that my foot is into the proper stage of where it needs to be with healing. I went onto the YouTube last night and I watched a video on bone growth and healing and the different phases that it goes through. And it was 3 weeks ago last night. Isn't that crazy? It was 3 weeks ago last night that it already happened. So 3 weeks have just flown right by. And I think that it takes for me, hopefully 4 to 8 weeks for it to heal. And so I'm hopeful that he says to me, oh yeah, it's doing its soft phase of creating the stuff around the bone to reconnect it, and that eventually by next week it's into that hard calcification period of time. And then my ultimate goal is to either be walking on it or using a knee scooter, really, really like the knee scooter first, but then hopefully by the Stampin' Fun in the Sun, I'm good to go, which is starting June 5th. And maybe I don't sit, like maybe walk on it lightly or use crutches a little bit. But anyways, that's the long game. So Marcia Long, hello. Hi, Joy Moody. Yay, long time no talk to you, Joy. I'm glad you caught me live today. So Joy called me this morning out of the blue. She was watching a class from last year, and she was really surprised that I answered the phone. Well, when you, I was awesome. I was sitting at my computer and the phone rang and I answered it. And I honestly thought, Joy, I didn't tell you this when you called. I waited a little bit to see if it was a recording or a spammer or a scammer or an automated phone message. And when somebody said hello on the other end, I'm like, oh, we're real. It's like there's a real person on the other line. Isn't that, you guys get lots of scam calls? I do, but I really appreciate all the prayers and the big happy wishes and the recovery wishes, you guys. I know that all of that makes a difference. And I know Luann Bartling was telling me that as long as I think that my foot is healing and that I'm wishing it to heal, it's just going to continue to, like, mind over matter type thing. So all good, you guys. I'm probably even better emotionally and physically than I was last week. I got a 4-hour nap on Saturday afternoon. I was struggling throughout class on Saturday morning, and I had 6 people, and I felt bad. I yawned probably 10 times throughout class because I was just exhausted. And I was able to crawl into bed at 2 o'clock, and I slept there till 6. And it was amazing. Got up for a few more hours, and then I went back to bed. And so it was my body's way of saying, you need sleep. And you guys have been telling me this. I know you have. All my mothers have been telling me, make sure you get sleep. Make sure you get sleep. Your body needs to rest. And so I get that. I've been trying to get 7 to 8 hours every night, and that's good. So hi, Mary Carls from Stormy Jericho. Yes, we have a very overcast day today here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin as well. It's been raining on and off, and that is perfectly fine by me. I personally am okay with that. We got all of my flowers planted. I shouldn't say, well, I didn't. I got to help supervise. Chris Dudorenki and my mom and Tyler and Diane Bogenhagen, they were over the last few days between Friday and Sunday. We got all my flowers planted. I can show you guys what we got if you guys are wanting to see. I like to share some things, so I might as well show you some pictures. I love to do, the geraniums are very hardy here in Wisconsin with my wave petunias. So we did 3 baskets like that. And I got some marigolds and a dahlia. These we pulled out of the garden a couple years ago and have had them in this pot, and they keep coming back, my chives, and they're pretty. And then Tyler, you guys, I showed these last night during the kit class, but not everybody caught that. Tyler always says there's a tax for taking pictures. I sent him out with my phone to take pictures. And then I love my little salvia, and I can't remember what these little guys are. My heliotrope is there, and I love thumbergias. So I have 4 yellow thumbergias that start to make their way up with the zinnias. And yeah, and then Tyler got 2 tomato plants. We have a little hibiscus back there that's on the struggle bus, but we're hoping that it comes through this summer. So that's what I had. We got all that done, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but it was enough. It was enough for us to work on. I got to supervise, which was hard for me to sit back and do, but yeah, all good. So we're going to work on the monthly, or the Let's Just Stamp Magnolia Mood cards here momentarily. Angela got me all set up. She just left. She got me all set up so that I have everything hopefully here, so I don't need to get up to go get anything. That is the ultimate goal. I have here also in front of me the DSP sampler. You guys, I made a little progress last night in between Tyler working on stuff. I got a couple of my squares glued down, so in case anybody's looking for something like this to have in their own possession, I do sell these. Like, I got this one glued down, yay. What you do is you get a 2x2 swatch of the color, and then you also get the little cardstock swatch here, and then you glue your pieces down. And this is everything basically for the annual catalog, including specialty paper. We did forget to write oxidized copper. Or I should say we forgot to print oxidized copper. So I'm trying to say this every time I do a live. So in case you got the DSP sampler, you're going to want to glue your oxidized coppers at the top and put a little pencil or pen down there. I did not photograph this yet because I haven't put it together 100%. But once it's photographed, then I will send out the tutorial to everybody so they have it. All right. Annual catalog. You are not going to find this Magnolia Mood in the annual catalog or in any catalog. Hi Kathy Showalter. They have something called, they call them online exclusives. And it doesn't mean that you can only buy it online. What it means is you can only buy it, you can only see it in the online store. So when you go to stampinup.com, that is where you could search, and I created a little tab on my home screen here, and you can search Magnolia. So if anybody's looking for this and wondering where you find this stamp set, it's going to be in the online store, not found in a catalog, and there's a bundle which is available, or you can buy the dies or the stamp set. So you could buy them together as a bundle and save 10%, or you can get the 2 items individually. Now, it doesn't mean you only have to buy it through an online purchase. I have plenty of in-person customers that come to me with their orders, and I can place orders for you, meaning I'll go online and place the order for you. So I get that question a lot. Well, do I have to go online to buy it? Well, no, not technically. If you want me to place the order for you, I can help with it. But if you're a general away from me customer, you're generally putting your own orders in yourself. And so you would find that in the online store, not in a catalog. And then the other thing that we used with all these cards, the stamp set that goes with this designer paper is actually called A Lot of Love, I believe. So this designer paper is also an online exclusive. I think if we look it up really quick, it's something with latte. And so again, you can only see it in the online store here, the latte paper, a little latte. And that is the paper we use, this swirly one, that swirly one, and then another swirly one that looks like coffee stains, but you would never know that they are coffee stains. And then if you caught me with my monthly class, we used that piece for the monthly class. And then I think it left 2 more sheets left. I think I have that one left, and we're saving that for another project. And so that's what we like to do when we design. We'll use as much from a pack, as many sheets as possible, and then we'll save other sheets for different projects. So we're gonna be working on these momentarily, but in case you are looking for it in that book, you're not gonna find it in the book. You'll find it in the online store. And if you are uncertain, just reach out to me. I can help you figure out where to find it. Hi, Laura Sullivan. Hi, Catherine Healy. All right, so we're gonna do roll call. I always do roll call. I've done it from the very beginning, especially if you're new to me, you wonder why I call everybody's name. I call everybody's name that signed up for this class. I like to show my love and appreciation to the specific people that bought this class either by paying for it or this class was offered free with a $50 purchase. And I like to thank people again for taking this class with me. You are the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. I love to cut paper. I love to kit paper. And I bring in everybody to help me, especially when we get to making 60 of these. And so I have a list of names that we're going to go through here. And if you're watching live with me, call out that you're here. If you are watching later on in life, you can call out that you're here watching. Definitely, if you are watching this not during the live and it's during the replay and you have questions, it is always best. I am not frozen, Laura. I'm hoping that nobody else sees me frozen. I'm not frozen. So hopefully, Laura, not just, I hope it's not just you, but I'm hoping it's not everybody else. And so hopefully refresh your screen, maybe that'll help. But I was thinking about the kitting and the cutting and the classes and the 60 people, and not quite sure where. I wanted to thank everybody for doing this class with me. We are all sold out of this class. Oh, the replay. So if you have questions, especially later on, and it's not during the live, I don't generally go back and look at comments that are from a live later on. It's so much going on. So I always tell people, please reach out to me privately if you have questions or need help or want something. Email me, text me, call me, Facebook message me, however you need to get a hold of me. I need a 2-way correspondence if you have questions after the live. If you're looking for the PDF tutorial and you can't find it, don't hesitate to reach out to me after you've looked in your spam folder and after you've done a search through your inbox for the name of the class. That's always an important thing. So Laura said now she hears me. Good. All right, so first on my list is Miss Julie Bierschbach, and then Angelique McClendon, Nedra Dover, Sherry Everett, Sandy Wicklander, Shirley Malarkey, Pat Fleming, Donna Grushke, Jeannie Parker, Lisa LaFramboise, Sandy Coy Emery, Karen Wetstein, Kate Brace, Mary Lemke, Ann D'Acquisto, Kathy Showalter, Linda Rios, Connie Moore, Carissa Alberts, Susan Bellamy, Karen Woods, Jeannie Gertis, Georgine Darbro, Georgine, calling Georgine. I told you that you didn't sign up for this class. I was wrong. Your name was on the list, and those kits are going to be mailed out to you now that you picked out your other class. So Georgine, you're on the list. Yay. Sarah Mitchell, Angela Knutson, Brenda Cottrell, Trisha Fagley, putting my foot up, Patty Wright, Karen Stagg, Leslie McMinn, Feline Mays, Sherry Stewart, Deanna Stell, Ann Bellinger, Debbie Gast, Cheryl Thomas, Judy Sharp, Barbara Gobby, Bridget Rowe. Bridget, this might be the first time I'm saying your name out loud, so this very well could be your first class you took with me. And if it's not, it would be the first time I said your name out loud, it seems. Becky Rohr, Mary Sykes, Jennifer Summers, Kathleen Ketterman, Becky Gandolfo, Randy Schultz, Shelley Cooper, Mary Carls, Karen Skillern, Vicki Rodriguez, Penny Powell, Linda Hunt, Lynn Beasley, Lori Baxter, Vera Anderson, Marcia Dean, Pat Detlefson, and Gwen Petrashek. Yay, yay, yay. Whoop, whoop to all you girls. That was 60 names, and all 60 of you were sent the PDF tutorial this morning around 10:15. So if you're wondering if you got it or not, please check your email and make sure it's in your inbox. So I will do a door prize drawing later for the 10 people who placed orders to get the class for free, because I use your orders to buy product, and sometimes I get extra product if I don't know how many to forecast. I always would prefer to have an extra pack of this or that on hand in case I need to kit up more. And then sometimes I have extra stuff at the end of a catalog, and that's what I use for my door prizes. And so for those people who place an order, we'll do a door prize at the end of class. All right, Linda Hunt is just jumping on. Yay. Okay. What about you, Laura Sullivan? You didn't sign up for this class. If I remember correctly, you did not take this class. So I double checked that, and I think I asked you about that too. So you might just go back through your text messages. So you guys, that's one thing I love, is when we communicate, is that we keep it in a same form of communication, which is awesome. So Laura, I am betting any money if you go back, I'm hoping. Like, I guess I don't like to bet. I'm not a betting person. I don't win when I bet, so I don't bet, you guys. I'm not a lottery person usually, or a gambler or any of that kind of stuff. I don't go to Vegas and go put money in the slot machines. Just not my style. And now I'm looking back, Laura Sullivan, 19. Did I say your name? Hang on. I see this. I have a text message from Laura, and it says, let's just stamp. Laura Sullivan. I said your name. I had to have said your name. So let's just look back here. Laura, you know what we'll do? We'll figure it out. I could have sworn I said your name. If I didn't say your name, I have to figure out. I know exactly what happened with you. I know exactly what happened with Laura Sullivan. So, Laura, I know exactly what happened with you. You were my little problem child last week. So if you guys look at my book here, I keep track of, we start here, we start here, we start here. And Let's Just Stamp goes here. And like the sweet class goes over here. And this goes over here. Laura, I had you here and I had you here. And I know exactly what happened with you. I know. It's perfect. I thought you, okay. So I have your set. I'm pretty sure that Diane's class will not have the person, and that will be your kit, Laura. So that is exactly what happened. I know exactly. So anyways, I'm talking to myself now, and Laura will connect afterwards. You're good. There's Hildy. Yay, Hildy. All right. So from Belgium. Awesome. Very cool. Thanks for joining us, Hildy. So Laura, I will have a set of cards for you. That is not a problem. I had a minor mishap with what columns I was working in with your name, and I figured it out in my head what happened. So don't worry, my friend. We will have kits for you. So, all right, we're going to work on Let's Just Stamp, and I'm going to make sure my camera looks a little straighter here. So when you get a class from me, it has a ticket. This is your golden ticket. It's actually yellow, and it's got the bees on it. It has the name of the class, which is your ticket to finding the PDF tutorial in your inbox, or to going to my YouTube classes and knowing the date. And then the other thing that I like to do, for those of you who are newer to me, you can always go to my website, and after I have the class, I'll go back in. So like we had Unbounded Beauty last week, and I always put on the event, you can catch the replay for this class on YouTube by clicking here, okay? And then when you click the here, it takes you into the video. So if you have, and I didn't want to do that, and now I got to figure out how to end it. There it is. Okay, so knowing that date on this class slip, it could take you to my class events calendar, and then you can always catch the YouTube from there. Hi, Mary Schreiber. Hi, Polly Libby. So that is one thing. You don't want to just throw this slip of paper away. It's got the name of the class and the date, which is very important. Now for this one, you guys are going to have 2 pieces of basic white cardstock that would have been found directly underneath your golden ticket here. These are outside of the envelopes because they are what you need for stamping the different focal images, and you're going to use these 2 pieces, and it was easier to give you 2/4 sheets than giving you small pieces and putting them in each one. This was just easier on the helpers for kitting up for you guys. So you'll need them momentarily for stamping. And then it looks like there's 3 card kits. Now, Karen Wetstein did tell me that we did kit up one of the ribbons incorrectly, and we'll catch that in a moment when we start. Hi, Mary Sykes. But we're gonna start with, I think, the stamping. And we'll set these off to the side. I'd love to get all of the stamping done first, and then we'll die cut and color and do all that good stuff. So this is what the stamp set looks like. There's this big Magnolia section here. Sue Spigner didn't hear her name either. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna look for Sue, and I'm gonna write this down, Sue and Laura. So no worries to Sue and Laura. I always tell people if something isn't right, we make it right. So you guys don't worry, it'll be okay. And Diana Woodland just brought something to my attention this morning. So I think if you got a product share from me with paper, double check it. So there's a bunch of you. There were 32 people that got product shares from me. So if you're watching me now and you got a product share, you might just check the paper. Diana Woodland pulled out all of her paper and she was looking for country lace. And it boggles my mind that I have one here that hasn't been picked up yet. So I double checked it, and it also was missing country lace. So if that is the case, then I will need to make sure I get the country lace 6 sheets to everybody that got the share for me. So again, if something's ever wrong with anything that we ever do out of here from me, I hold myself fully accountable. And so I always make things right, okay? So just know that. Don't ever have to worry. Don't ever stress. It's Naughty Nancy would just say, it's just paper, everybody. It's just paper. Like, there are worse things that are happening in the world, and this is just paper, right? So just know, let me know. Always let me know. Never feel bad letting me know. And always reach out to me so I can figure it out and make it right. And we'll get it figured out. So just know that I just was made aware of the paper share and the country lace paper. And so I'll be getting it, and I'll get it in, and we'll get it shipped out in some packages in the future. So hi, Sandy Wicklander. So Mary said she likes stamping all the images first. That's perfect. Oh, so Debbie Gass said no country lace in hers either. So I think it is pretty much confirmed that I missed that. We put country woods in there, but you would have thought I would have had 4 extra packs of country lace designer paper here, and we looked in my extra DSP and I didn't have them. So I will be cutting that, and then I will be providing that in a lot of everybody who got the paper share with me is getting the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. And so what my plan is I'll put that in with your Stampin' Fun in the Stampin' Fun in the Sun package, or we'll figure it out. So, okay, but my whole point is you guys will make it right. So never have to get upset or stress or like be mad about anything. Like it all works out. It all works out in the end. It comes out in the wash, right? All right. So, and I'm just going to write that on here so that I'm good. It's all good, Anna? I think that's Anna was in here, or is there a cat in here making noise? I'm just going to write that down here. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to make Mary Lemke very happy, and we're going to get our images stamped. So ultimately we need 1, 2, 3 of the big stamps. And then we use one of these and one of these. So this, and then there's another leaf that I think we pulled in that will get stamped too. And all of these are stamped in espresso. And is that Anna? Yep. I'm trying to think if there was something I needed from over there or not. I don't think so. So I think we're good. I appreciate your help. Sure. Yay. Have a good rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
Bye. Okay, so we're just gonna fit this on here strategically. So we're gonna put this guy maybe like here. I'm gonna go across the edge like this here. So we need one, and that would be for this card. Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna do another one, and that should fit over on this side as well. You just have to be a little bit strategic about how you stamp it because you have just enough room, okay? So let's get this guy. I should have stamped a little bit closer. I'm gonna try it on this one actually. Let's go like right here for this one. Okay, ultimately we need 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's do that one there. And now I'm hopeful that I've saved myself a little bit more room to get this guy over here. Like this. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you need 3 of these big daddies. All right, so there's our 3. And then what we need, one of these little doohickeys. That's different. I know what we're doing. This guy right here, let's do him. This is that one up there. Okay, and the flower that's down here is actually a flower that gets cut off here. And what does that mean? And it means that I don't think we used this one on the outside of any of them. We saved that for the inside. But what you need is another leaf here. And I might just put my leaf right there. And if you're so inclined to want to have more... Oh, Linda Hunt, okay. If anybody didn't get country lace, you do not need to send me an email. I will be sending an email out to everybody saying that I missed putting it in. And I will hold it for you until we have another package, as long as you're okay with that I don't have to, like, otherwise I'll get a lot of emails, a lot more emails. And I know that I missed it. So I'm pretty sure we missed putting the whole pack in. And we even did a check, you know, it's like we went through the catalog. You know what happened? Stampin' Up did not blaming Stampin' Up, but there was no list of designer series paper that we could go on in the book and kind of like go one by one. We had to kind of go off of our memory. So, cause there's no listing. So Linda, I know that anybody who got the product shares for me, there's the 32 people, nobody got it. So I will make sure that when I cut it, I'm going to put a Post-it note on everybody's little packet and I'll have one set aside for you. So no problem at all. You don't have to let me know. And Judy Sharp too. That's good. I got it. Like, I know that you guys won't have it. If I missed 2 of them or 3 of them, I know I missed them all. If you want, you could actually do another leaf here. If you're so inclined, there's a little space here if you'd want to do another leaf. And I think that's it for the focal image stamping for us. So I will shut this for now because we'll come back to the ink in a little bit. The other stamp sets that we pulled in for this one are Gone Fishing. We pulled in some of these little line things. And then a new stamp set here that's called Loveliest Tree. You might remember there was a lovely as a tree in the olden day. This one's Loveliest Tree, and there's some sentiments. That's what we pulled in for this one. All right, so for coloring and die cutting. So your call on what you want to do, if you like to die cut or color first. I think what I'll do is do a little bit of coloring. I'm going to do a little bit of, I'm using blends. So we're going to use light daffodil because these are very light and pastel-y to me. So we're going to do a little bit of the light daffodil in the middle section of all of the magnolias. And that's it for the daffodil. So I use the light of the Daffodil Delight. And then I've got Old Olive and Petal Pink for the rest of these. And they are, I should have had a Vanna White here for me, coloring. How I do the green, I do the darker green in the middle area of all of my veins of my leaves, and then I go back and I follow in with the light. So if you've never used blends before, they are a really nice coloring medium or tool that you can use to get two-tone looks in your different focal images that you're trying to color in. All right, so I've got those, and then I'm going to go over here. And since we decided to do all of our stamping of these first, just to be efficient with our use of our time, I'm going to go ahead and do all of the dark Old Olive first. So there's what I've got that. And then the funny thing is, like when you're coloring your leaves, I always have to go back and look to see if I missed one because I generally get them all colored except for one. I have no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. Basically, I'm going over the middle section and pulling in the dark green through this middle area. And I could, you know what I'll do here, you guys? I'll just do this for a little bit. I'll zoom in so that you guys can see the stamping or this coloring close up. Just do that. I wouldn't say I'm an amazing colorer. I don't mind coloring, but I would say that my friend Gina, who does the scrapbooking classes and other classes on my YouTube channel, she is an immaculate colorer. She does a lot with blending. So now I'm going to take the light Old Olive and I'm going to mix that in with the dark and making sure I go over the dark area a little bit more, so it helps to blend it together and you get rid of any of the lines. And so it should appear to be darker in that middle area. I'm right-handed, so I continue to turn the paper with me as I go so that I don't go outside of the line so much. And then we're gonna do this little baby leaf over here. You guys can still see that? Okay, good. So I'm gonna go here. You can keep going over. Just know that the more that you use the blends in one area, they will start to bleed. And sometimes when you're coloring, it can bleed and go outside the lines. And there is something called a color lifter, which is supposed to help lift up the color, but it doesn't always work for me when I use it. So I just try not to go outside the lines. You can see here, it's a little bit darker in that middle area and then lighter. If you keep going over it with a marker too, it'll also give it some more darkness with the color that you're using. You can use the Stampin' Up! Images, like the lines, as a guide for what you should do darker. But there we go, that one's done. Okay, and then we're gonna come over here and do all these. Oh, see, I went outside the line there. Oopsie daisy. It happens. You might not even see it though. When we put the whole card together, that little bit might get cut off, so I'm not really worried about it. If you are not so good with the fine tip of the marker, you could always use the thin tip. I like the fine tip. I just try to go very light and brush stroke, like feathers, kind of, so that you're not putting a lot of stress onto the tip of the marker. The harder you press it, the more it will get demolished, I guess you could say. So light, feathery, wispy strokes. There we go. All right, so I'm going to keep going in and out of my chat because I want to make sure last night I didn't get any messages after a certain point. All right, oh, see, that's what happens. You think you're done and then you're not done. So we have all the greenery over here to do yet. So we'll get this going. And hopefully you guys were able to stamp all of your Magnolia pieces within these pieces of white. If not, you could always grab another scrap of white. You could flip things over too. If I went to figure out how to get these two on here together, I would have flipped them over and done the back side. So there, that is what I've got for the green action. Very pretty. So that was Old Olive. If you don't have Old Olive, there is also, what is there? There would be Granny Apple, but that's a little bit brighter of a green. And then there's Shaded Spruce, but that might be too crisp. But the Old Olive was just perfect with them. All right, so now how am I gonna do my petal pink? Let's put this up here. Oh, Angelique's got her DSP sampler put all together. Very cool. So the dark petal pink, I'm going to use that on the areas where I mentioned that Stampin' Up! Kind of gives you a guide of where they have these dark images from the stamp. That's where I'm going to be using my dark petal pink. And on this one, I don't see a lot, so I'm just going to do more of the base. On this one too, I'm going to do just the base. And these would be the same this way. So I'm using the dark petal pink first, and then we're going to follow up with the light petal pink, but we're only going to do the light petal pink as an extension off of the dark so that the tips will stay a little bit white yet. So by doing all these flowers at the same time, you're not having to open and close the marker, open and close the marker, all that good stuff. So we're going to do this guy at the base here. And then I'll leave that. And then we've got this one left to do. So petal pink is a pink that has a little bit of orange in it. To me, it looks orangey. So they just came out with a new color, or brought back, I should say, the Pretty in Pink, which is more of your true baby pink for if you need girl cards, little girl cards. All right, so that was all the dark pink, dark petal pink. Then what I'm gonna do is pull in the light petal pink. And I always do, this one, I go over the dark, and that helps to blend the line. Well, this marker, oh, it still works. Okay, it seems very dry, but I got just a little bit of light, and I kind of didn't go all the way to the edge. Kind of left it so that's a little white. Then I'm going to do the same concept on these. We're just going to go directly over the dark, and I'm bringing up from the dark into the area that isn't colored, and leaving some of it so that it's white. So you can see I didn't quite go up there. And then on these, we're going to go over the dark area and bring it up, an extension up. So this marker to me is super dry. I'm wondering if it's one of my older markers, I wonder if I have a petal pink. Hang on, let me just see. One moment, please. I'm going to hop over here. Over here. I think I have bought a brand new set for down here. Yep, light petal pink. One moment, please. All right, so now they're both here. I think it's this one is my new one. You guys would probably know which one I threw down. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, so I don't want to go all the way to the end, but I am definitely going over the darker area that I did, and extending out the color and leaving the tips a little bit white. It's your Magnolia. If you want to color it however you want to color it, you can, but basically that's kind of what I was going for. And then we still have these guys over here. Oh yes, this marker has a lot more juice in it, which is good. All right, so we're gonna go over the dark area and then extend out a little bit, but not all the way to the edge because I want to leave a little white tips. Okay, so far so good. We did Google and look up magnolias to see colors, to see what color to color it. And that's what we do a lot when we're not certain of something. We'll go onto the Wi-Fi and go searching the Google to see what something looks like. You search on the Google images. It helps us to give us the inspiration of what to color things. All right. So there is what we've done for our magnolias. Perfect. All right, Susan Bellamy, we'll catch you later. Hi, Trish Fagley. Lost the internet, just came back on. Good, good, good. Glad it's back. All right. So now I think I'm good on my magnolias. We've got these guys good to go. What I'm going to do is rough cut them apart so that when I go into my little machine to cut them, they're all separate individual pieces like that. Like that. Now, okay, Laura Sullivan, I have a question for you. Did you get your box yet? I'm pretty sure you got your box, but I erased your name. I'm thinking, you guys. My mind is always thinking, right? So, Laura, I don't know if you said that you were with your granddaughter, though. I think you might not be home. So we need these dies right here, and I've got my machine back here. My little baby blue 42 is right here. So we can make, now we've done all the work for coloring and stamping them really nice. We definitely do not want to take the risk of cutting these bad. So I definitely always still, even sometimes if you have a magnetic plate, I will still go back and tape them. I always tape them. And then I always look at it before I go to cut it. Not that it moves around on me. Like I saw that this was jumping around. Like it just doesn't care. I'm gonna put that right there. So we're gonna cut out all of these right now. Oh, Trisha's should be arriving today. Yes, so you guys, that's awesome. So that means that's good. The postal system is working for us. Everything that everything, I shouldn't say everything. The majority of everything shipped out on Thursday. We had 127 packages that went out the door on Thursday, which was a lot. And then we're going to grab this guy and see if there's a little more room on the machine for him. They can take their space together and share. And oh man, it's hard to get it started sometimes. Hi, Margie Burkett. She works and lives, you have a daughter in Virginia, and she works and lives on Sweetbriar College. Ah, and they have beautiful magnolia trees. I love it. Very good. Very good. I love, magnolias are so pretty. And we have one more big one to cut, so we'll do this guy. And I did do the leaves here, so let's grab, there is not a die for the leaves. I'm seeing that there. So what's really cool about this die set, there's this right here, which die cuts out a really intricate die, like detail. So pretty. I don't see, this leaf is not the right leaf for that. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it says there's 10 dies. I wonder if I am missing the leaf. I did not see it over here, but that doesn't mean that it's not here. I might just cut that out by hand then. So the good thing about stamps is you don't have to have dies for die cutting. I mean, if you die cutting, yes, but you don't have to have stamps or dies to actually cut them. You can use your scissors to cut them out as well. So I think that's what I've got for the die cutting here. Hi, Jeanne. Color, I try and remember to cut first and then color, just in case. Yes, so I thought about saying that too. That's a good point. Sometimes what you can do is, if you don't want to take the risk of cutting it bad after you've spent all your time and awesome energy, you could, in essence, stamp it, cut it, and then color it. Now, I personally like to color it and then die cut it and just make sure I do a good job die cutting it, because when I color it, I like to hold on to the paper, where if you cut it out first before you color it, you don't necessarily have something to hang on to when you're coloring. That's just one thing. So I am going to cut this one, and I don't know if we need the second leaf, but I thought, well, we have white space, we might as well stamp it. We could always tuck it in somewhere if we want an extra leaf. You could have even made more leaves. There was enough white space. There was this much more white space left that you guys could have utilized. All right, so that's what we've got. Now, we're gonna open up the first kit right here, which is an espresso base with the pink. So let's move these out of the way and grab this card. So there is a die for the leaf. So I have to check with Angela if she saw it when she die cut, because I did not. And I'm missing it because it says that there's 10 dies. And with these 2 dies, so I use magnetic sheets, and I'll have to see, because Angela comes in and she does her stamping here. And I'll have to ask her if she saw it, because I definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do not see it. It might have landed on the floor too. So we'll have to say, our little baby Jesus lost and found, please bring my 10th die around, and hopefully it shows up. All right, so we'll need one of these little guys. Oh, actually the Big Daddy here. And we'll set these off to the side for now. This one we used the sentiment, sending heartfelt sympathy. And when we open up this kit, this is one of the new embossing folders that's in the back of the catalog. So if you're looking for embossing folders, they did a good job of putting them all together back here. If you go towards the back, I don't have my catalog memorized, but it's 129. They have this so swirly embossing folder. That's where that came from. It's one of these big Mac Daddy ones. It's this big. You can fit 2 sheets in it, all right? And your base is your espresso. That mat is petal pink. It's a horizontal card. And we're gonna put that like that. I like to just set things out to see where they are. So that piece back here, will go here, and then I've got a little label, and I gave myself scraps. So you guys will all have in your kit this piece of designer series paper. And if you look at the instruction, it says it needs to get trimmed down into, I believe, 7/8 inch strips. And yep, 7/8. So you guys all have a piece of designer paper that looks like this big, right? And we did not want to mess anything up for anybody. So we figured everybody's got cutters at home. You can cut your piece into 7/8 inch strips and then keep them in order. Now, what Karen did for me, and actually I think what Karen also got for herself, because Karen helped me cut all the designer paper, she gave me some scraps that were at the end of the line, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna make do with what I have here, but I still have to cut them like you do. So you guys are gonna cut yours in order, 7/8, 7/8, 7/8, and it leaves you with one that is 7/8. And yours should all be a continuous pattern, okay? So I'm not gonna worry about a continuous pattern. I'm gonna go with the flow and have Naughty Nancy in the back of my mind saying, it's just paper. Nobody that gets this is gonna notice that it's not a continuous pattern. But for you guys, we thought the easiest way to have you guys keep your continuous pattern and not have to guess is you guys would cut your own. So this is great to make it look like a picture on the wall kind of to me. And so I might just refinagle these so that they are in a little bit better of an order. And once you have your 7/8, now then what we can do is work on gluing them down. But we have sending heartfelt sympathy. And then on the inside, I have nothing. So let's figure out what we can put on the inside. And we're gonna open up this again. Now with this, it's a photo, it's a red rubber stamp. So I'm gonna practice on my scratch paper here and see how straight it stamps. Ooh, it stamps pretty decent. And then what I'll do is go over to here. And if you don't have the loveliest tree, you could always use any other sentiment. It doesn't have to be that. And the one thing is you want to leave enough room for cutting your banner here. So I think what I'm going to do is going to go one more time and move over to the left a little bit more to give myself a little more wiggle room. Okay, so that's good. And then I moved over a hair so I have a little bit more wiggle room there for cutting. Hi, Brenda Lovelace. I'm so happy that you caught me live today. Yay. You've had wins. Oh, were you without power? So my mom said 500,000 people lost power down in Houston. I wonder if that was, if you, yes, you have no yes. We have not had any electricity since the storm. Well, hugs and prayers to you, Brenda. Hopefully you're able to charge things so that you can communicate. You are definitely one that is on my list to reach out to today so that we can catch up. It's been a little while since we caught up. I'm gonna stamp that one flower that we didn't use yet. I'm gonna put that down here in the bottom. And the flower to me is angling to the left. So I think I'm going to put it to the left here, and I'm not gonna worry about the leaf that gets cut off. And I'm actually, you guys, we're gonna double dip here. We're gonna do, because apparently I did not work on my sample enough. So that's gonna be for my sample card. All right. And I think that's it for espresso, and we can work on putting this together. So we can get a little glue happy. We can glue that. And we can glue our Swirly Jane piece here. So they should be pretty much reversible. Pick whichever side you like better and grab your glue. And we're gonna glue these two things at the same time. Two days. So Linda, you got yours in 2 days. So not everybody got priority mail. How the priority packaging works is if it's less money to send the priority, we do priority. And I'm going to trim off a hair. I just fit this in here and it's just a little long. And I can do that with this little baby guillotine. I'm just going to trim off a hair. If it's less expensive to put in my purple package, then we use a purple package for everybody, but then we're not guaranteed for the 2-day. But you're right, priority should be 2-day. So one of the things that we talked about is definitely dry fitting your cardstock pieces together before putting glue on them, because that will help to make sure that You can cut anything if you need to. All right, so let's talk about these strips right here. I'm thinking that maybe let's reorganize them. That looks like it might have good flow to it, and then maybe that will be a good transition into that one. So I'm good with that. And I'm gonna guess where to put glue here. I see that I have 4 panels, and I have a little bit wider on the left and the right. So I'm guessing, I'm just going with it, you guys. Like that. And we're gonna put these strips down. And we have, it's liquid glue. Because I'm using liquid glue, I have a little bit of wiggle room to get them straight. So like that, like that, like that. And little guy's gotta get up. All right, so all a little bit too much to the one side. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I feel like it's really good, except for my end here is a little bit less. So I did really good on centering these 4, right? They centered really nice, but I ended up with more on this side than this side. Instead of picking them all up and refinagling this, I'm just gonna trim off a little bit on that side. And that is exactly what will be easy peasy lemon squeezy, correct? Okay, so don't overthink it. Ultimately, your goal is to get the same amount between the 3 middle pieces, these 3 middle sections, and then you can always trim the sides if you need to. All right, but now we have some ribbon, this longer ribbon that goes underneath here, and then we have a ribbon that ties on here. Now, I did find out through Karen Wetstein, she told me I should check my ribbons really quick before we get too crazy, just to make sure that I'm putting the right ribbon down on each one. That ribbon's perfect. Okay, so I'll leave this out. And she said that has 2 ribbons, which, okay, we switched the 2 ribbons, okay? That's what Karen said. This card right here, when you open it, this ribbon that's a little bit shorter is the ribbon that goes for this card. And the ribbon that is longer needs to go with this one. It is an honest mistake. It's only an inch different, and my helpers wouldn't have caught that. The bag got put down with the wrong class, basically, or the wrong kit, the wrong card. So you do need to do a little swapperooing. You want the 5-inch piece for this card and the 6-inch for here. If for any reason you miss the boat on that and you put this one down, you can make this one work, but you're gonna end up having to cut the ribbon and splitting it behind there. But I'd rather you not have to do that. So just a note of a little, oh, and then I didn't, of course, hang on one moment, please. That goes here, that goes here. Let's make sure it's obvious. And then what we're gonna do is grab a little, yes, Linda Hunt was, I love it when you guys are pleasantly surprised. That's always a good thing. We're gonna put a little bit of the Terran tape at the bottom here. And we're gonna take that one piece that's now a little bit longer than the other one. And this is going to, you're gonna see a little bit of the brown here. And then tuck your tail behind. And tuck your tail behind. And then I would definitely grab 2 more pieces of Terran tape and make your little sandwich. And you're not gonna pick them off though. You're going to use dimensionals. And let's see if I have these right here. We're gonna pop this section up with dimensionals. And just 2 more for good measure. And then what we can do is peel these all off. Now, I was showing you guys my thumbnail. I broke my nail on the crutch. I went to grab the crutch from under my chair, and it cracked my nail right down there, right? Ready to go into the meat. So I clipped my nail really short, and now I don't have a thumbnail for taking off my dimensional backs, right? First world problems, right? So Diane Bogenhagen taught me this many moons ago. You can take your pick tool, you poke right into the middle of the dimensional. It does leave a hole in it, but that's okay. And what it does is it picks off the backs of the dimensionals for you. And then this is going to go right in the middle of your card. It kind of reminds me of an ice cream swirl. Like this would be really pretty with the like the ice cream set. It's like swirly. Then what I'm going to do is stick my ribbon underneath here and just set it off to the side so it's hanging out. And we'll catch it in a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is take a dimensional. Ooh, am I not, or am I going to use a dimensional? I think I'm not. And This is popped up here on my card, but it gets a little bit high. So what you could do is, instead of using a dimensional, you could just put the whole thing flat. Your call. If you think you've got enough with height, what you could do is choose a little liquid glue. And then also what I'm going to do for good measure, a little tear and tape. I'm going to catch the tear and tape on the ribbon and on the paper. And then this can get glued, and it's hanging off the edge over here. Like that. I want to see that little bit of pecan coming through the ribbon. And something like that. I see the brown over there. So that's down. And then now my flower should have room over here. And we're going to pop, I think I'm going to pop that up with dimensionals. Why not? You could always put it flat if it's too much height for you. Popping is always a personal preference. All right. Oh, there, I got it with my nail, but it starts to get caught under my nail. And sometimes that's not a good feeling. All right, so then this is going to be hanging out, and this leaf goes right there. I'm gonna angle it just a little bit. And now I've got this ready to go, where all I have to do is make my overhand knot right on the edge here. That's ready. If you wouldn't have prepped and put that little ribbon underneath, it would be really hard to kind of wedge it underneath there. Now, this is a little bit flippy floppy under here, so I'm going to take a glue dot and help secure that a little bit as well. Down here, I'm going to take underneath where my ribbon is and secure that. And it's still flippy floppy, so what I'm going to do is take one more and put that in between the ribbon and that. Now that's kind of pickled really good. And then you can take your ribbon scissors, and we'll trim the ribbon tail that way and the ribbon tail that way. A good deal. All right. So you're probably wondering where the gems are. If you saw when I opened up one of these cards, you saw that there are gems in here. All 9 of your gems were put in with this card, with the vanilla card. And I've got on this one of each. We put one of the brown gems, one of the tanny white vanilla gems, and then a pink one. I just put them all kind of off on the side over here. Hi, Linda E. Your first time watching me live. You've been lurking for a while. I love it. Lurkers are always great, you guys. You can lurk as much as you want to. I want to hear that you guys are learning stuff and enjoying the creativity and the inspiration and getting ideas for making whatever you want to at home. I'm just using my Stella's not taking a backseat approach today. She's getting a little bit of a workout. I'm Stella-ing my leaves. So, and because this is alcohol based and the blends were alcohol based, I was really quick about it. And I did want to make sure I didn't blend my colors together. I did the pink first and then the green. And that's what we've got. This pretty little Magnolia card for you guys. Oh, I so appreciate you wishing me the best of my leg, Linda. And you're so, I have the words there. You so love the card, this card. Yay, I'm so happy. So fun use. So if you're looking, if you love a piece of designer paper a lot, but you want to give it a different look, take it and cut it into strips, separate it a little bit and put a backer on it. It's a nice little layout, you guys. Very good. Now, the only thing I didn't glue in was my inside. So let's glue that in. Put that in the bottom corner. And if you are so inclined, you need to put a sentiment in. Well, you don't need to do anything. It's always like what you want to do, right? But I thought, well, as long as we're here right now, I'm going to take and do a little color-ing of my leaves on the inside here. So it's not so boring. Like no naked insides, right? And let's grab the dark petal pink, do that at the bottom, and then I don't know which one of these I grabbed, but hopefully it's not. I feel like that just needs to get thrown away. Done. It had nothing left to give me, and so it's done. That marker needed to say goodbye. All right. And you might just do the whole thing if you want to see the whole thing pink. There. And find yourself a pretty little sentiment that goes on the inside for the card, whatever you want, but I would put that over there, right about there. Thank you, Polly Libby. Yay, okay, you guys, we got one done. Margaret says it's a beautiful card too. I love it, love it. Fun, fun. Okay, 1 done, 2 to go. Very good, very good. I'll just set that, I'll leave it here just for a moment in case you guys are still looking at it. I'm still working on it. And we'll bring out this next one, which was the brown one here. So we use the same, okay. Let's Just Stamp is geared towards beginners. We try not to do any die cutting. We try to do embossing. Now, that's kind of hard to do. When there were actually dies with this set, it was hard not to use the dies. But if you don't have the dies, you could still fussy cut your flowers. We don't generally do embossing, but the swirly thing matched this latte paper perfectly with the swirls. It was hard not to. So we always beg for forgiveness later if we do embossing or die cutting, and we say that we don't generally do that, so sorry. This one, you're gonna have your 2 ribbons, one longer and one shorter. We used the pecan stripe ribbon, which is also an online exclusive here. Oh, Catherine likes it as well, yay. Angelique likes it, Linda likes it, good, good, good. This center stripe ribbon was perfect. It's vanilla, and it's hard because I don't generally mix vanilla and white, but the Magnolias looked better stamped on white than on vanilla. So we kind of did a cross between some vanilla and white, and we just went with it. So on this one, you can figure out which way you want your stripes or your swirlies. Your piece of designer paper is a 5 1/4 by 4. You have a little strip here, which is longer than what you need it to be, just in case you want a longer sentiment. And then you have the vanilla and the espresso, and those are perfect. That goes right here. And then you have, when we do Let's Just Stamp, Diane and I do Let's Just Stamp, we always double mat the inside. So it just makes it a little bit beefier, prettier inside. And I got that matted nicely, I think. I think I might just take off a hair. So this time I got smart. I looked at it before we actually put glue on it, and I'm just gonna trim off a hair. All right, and then we've got some gems left in our possession over here somewhere. And what we're gonna do on this one is use Thank You and espresso ink again. And then this is where we pulled in the Gone Fishing. The Gone Fishing is pecan pie. Ooh, that actually stamped pretty good. So let's see if I can make it happen on here. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go again. See if I can do it just a wee bit straighter. Okay, that works. Okay, toe pick. From the cutting edge. All right, so pecan pie, and you're gonna grab this little square, and we're gonna use pecan at 2nd strength. So stamp off. We put lines. Now, if you don't have pecan, oh, actually, we must have done it at 1st strength. So I'm gonna do 1st strength, and we're gonna go a little up here. If you don't have this exact background stamp, it's okay. Find something that helps fill in so the back isn't so vanilla. And I'm just going randomly around the edges here, because by the time we get the Magnolia on here, it just added a little bit. Now, if that's too dark, you could see what the 2nd strength looks like. I thought it might be too dark or too light, but then I did the other side, and I'm just gonna see here really quick what we can do with the 2nd strength, and maybe that I'll like better. It's just to add a little bit of a subtle background, like that. Let's just see here. It's where you guys, that's why you have a front and a back. You can see that's what it looks, very subtle. And then if you flip it this way, it's gonna go like that. You could use espresso too if you don't have pecan pie. So you see it a little bit more. Just depends on what you like, right? Your call, whatever you like. And the best way to figure it out probably is to put it on the card and see what looks nicer. Oh, it's like in between. I could go either way. Things that make you go, So what I'm seeing, this is like the thing at home when you're stamping. It's like, then you go to your husband, what do you like? And he says, I don't care. Do what you like, right? That's like, because it's probably a horse apiece. What I'm seeing is that the lines stand out more, and when you use this side, the flower stands out more. And I think that's what I want, is the flower to stand out more. Flower. So we're gonna glue this. We're gonna glue this. We are going to stamp one more thing, because that flower can get used again on the bottom corner here. This flower right here can go right there. All right, so that's done. And now we can keep our gluing happening. All right, you ready for this? All right, so we have our piece of designer paper, our inside vanilla mat, this mat, and I think that might be it for the moment. Figure out which way you want to see your swirls. And what I like to do is make sure I'm flush on the one end and flush on the bottom, and then I can always trim off if necessary. This piece goes onto the pecan pie mat like that. And then this piece goes on here like that. Perfect. Okay, now I would take my scissors and just trim off. I've got a little bit extra hanging over here, and I like that to be gone. You don't have to hesitate to cut that off. And then what we're gonna do is this little thank you thing. You either use your scissors or a trimmer, whatever you feel comfortable with, but I'm just gonna go right up. Trim it with what size it needs to be. And then we're gonna need our tearing tape. All right, I'm gonna move this off in case you guys are done with that so that we can focus on this guy. And you need 2 of the tearing tapes waiting in the wings, and then you need 2 right through the middle here to help hold the ribbon. And this is another one where you can use that pick tool to pick up the waxy paper and take the longer of the 2 ribbons, and you can center that over the top of the seam. So my finger caught the red and it kind of bunched it up. So I'm gonna unbunch it. That guy goes like this. And I'm looking at it from the front. So many times I see people put it like upside down and then try to tape it. By putting that tear and tape back there, you know it's in the spot. You just flip your tails over and then you can make sure it's straight. Okay, and then you're going to grab your tear and tape, the 2 that were waiting in the wings. All right, now that's ready for gluing. So these 2 are ready for glue, and this little guy will be ready for gluing. We put a little line of glue on him. And I don't generally put liquid glue where the tear and tape is because that is going to provide the extra adhesive there. So I've got my designer paper goes along the bottom. Do you see me? I looked to make sure I had my card opening the right way so we don't make any trick cards. And then this little guy, I'm just going to put it down in the corner. I know it goes down in here, so I've got it kind of tucked in the corner here. And then our inside piece can go here. So we have espresso and pecan, espresso with petal pink, and then another pecan. So we did like a multitude of cards. So this little ribbon here, you can kind of slide it underneath. So it's, oh man, one moment please, my glue is not dry. One moment please, we'll put that right back there. But you wanna have your little ribbon here just hanging off on the side for the time being. This you're gonna need to use dimensionals. So we're gonna pop that up. Look at me using my pick tool to its finest these few days. Perfect. And then remember which is which. I think that was my top right corner. And I'm about 1/4 inch away. And I do have it centered top to bottom. Like that. All right. And then this, I also popped up my flower. So we get to use up a sheet of dimensionals. Makes me happy. Yay. Yay, goodbye, goodbye. And one more right there. Hi, Nedra. Good thing that you can catch the replay. Definitely. All right, so there's that. And then we'll grab these guys. Good deal. And then this will get put right onto our little square. something like that. And then now we have this set up. So you can take this and make your overhand knot right on here. We'll go like that. So it makes it look like you wrapped it all the way around and tied a knot, but we didn't need to do that, and we were a little bit more conservative with our ribbon then. Trim your tails. And we have some gems underneath here. And on this one, we did, oh, one of each again, it looks like. So there's a brown one there. And if you wanted, you could switch it around. You might see, oh, my brown one glue stayed. I was gonna say you could put the brown one up there, you might see it a little bit more. And then you could put the white one down there, however you want to do it. We've got 9 gems. Use them however you would like to. And then we got 3 left for the next card. All right, so Stella, Ella, Ella. I'm gonna do my Magnolia first again. Perfect, and then go right to the leaves. Perfect, oh change-o. All right. And when I smeared that, it got a little glue. So I have an adhesive eraser, which works perfectly for getting glue off of anything. All right, we got our second card done. Yay, very cool. My gems are all there yet. Nice, nice. Don't lose your gems. And on this one, oh yeah, so I did that in pecan on my sample, but on this one, we did it in espresso. So either way works. Whoop, whoop. All right, we're gonna mosey right on to our last card, which looks like this. This one you get to do a little Frankensteining for. All right, so I'll let that sit here and protect my gems for a moment, and we'll pull out the last card kit. And make sure you get everything out of your envelopes. So this is our pecan base this time, and then we mixed it with Petal Pink. And the embossing filler that got used on this one was called, or is called Distress Tile. So that'll go on the top. You have a little strip here for your sentiment. And then you have 3 pieces of designer paper that are actually like coffee stains. So when you have your coffee cup down, I guess, on the table and it leaves a ring, that's what these are. And they fit right onto these squares. So they're definitely squares. You might just put them inside just to make sure that they fit good before you get your gluing on. That looks good. So they fit nice. And then you have your inside, Petal Pink and a white. You can fit that just to see if you like it. I'm going to trim. If anything ever looks off, this is your opportunity to kind of, like you guys, we do this all by hand. So if there's anything that ever looks off just a hair, like that little corner to me, I thought this is your opportunity to make things just fit a little bit better. You have, hopefully everybody's got trimmers that you can use, or paper cutters, and you can dry fit things beforehand to make sure that they fit good. So there's that. All right, so I'm gonna move this guy out, because we should be good with him. And we could do a little stamping first. We'll stamp our happy birthday. So all 3 of these sentiments are coming from the stamp set called Loveliest Tree. So we're gonna just practice that. That looks good. Our little white strip here. I'm gonna stamp it a little bit to the right more. That's good. And then on the inside, what we're gonna do is to that other guy. So we have here this was the guy. We put him on the inside. And you had stamped him early on. We're just gonna put that right, maybe there. I'm good, it's all good. Okay, now, find a sentiment also to put on your inside. And let's get glue happy. So glue here, glue, 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 and then we can glue this. Now there is a top and a bottom to this. I would definitely pick the bumped up to be my top and the other to be my bottom. So let's see here. We're gonna glue that one. that, and then these guys. Okay, so our embossed piece just goes directly on here. Hi, Becky Roar. So happy you could catch a little bit of it. You can definitely watch the replay. That's always awesome. Oh, did you guys see what I did? I stamped it the wrong way. So I definitely had horizontal in my head because the last two cards were horizontal. So let me just see here if I have, that's what I can do here. Is this glued down? That one's glued already. Wait one moment. Let me see if I can finagle something here without, I stamped it wrong. This guy right here. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? We are going to use the back side of this. We're not using more paper. We are going to use this. It's okay. We're gonna put this guy on here, and that will become my sample. That's all right. I'm good. I can handle that. And now we just have to restamp that. So all good. We make do, right? No need to use extra paper. So there's one. Here's two. And then here's our third one. All these are just squares. I think the DSP is a 2x2. And then we're gonna just restamp this, and we're gonna keep it vertical. Gotta keep it vertical. And grab this guy again, and we'll use this one like that. Okay, now we're back on track. Life is good. All's good. All right, then we fix things. And then that will go on here. Like that. And then this will get glued on our inside. And I was just looking at, let's see what this looks like. That'll be good. Okay, so this one gets glued on the inside. And then all of our little squares, I was just looking at my paper. My base seems like a little bit wide, and so if that's the case too, I made sure to glue that up, and I can take off a little bit on the bottom here. Oops, wrong thing. And that will center that a little bit better. Perfecto. You guys, it's paper. You can cut it, you can score it, you can do whatever you want to it. All right, our little happy birthday now gets trimmed on the left side. I would guess something like that. And our squares here will get popped up with dimensionals. And I think we'll use these. We'll put 4 of them down. And instead of going close to the edge, I see sometimes in class people go close to the edge. I like to go kind of equidistant so that the whole thing is nicely represented in the back, so you don't get the saggy middle syndrome. So to me, I'd do something like that for these. And then we're gonna pick them off in one full swoop if we can. And then they go down, the top and the bottom on the right. We'll put those down first. And you can look at the pattern just to see how you want it to go and then make a decision. But we've got the top and the right the same, and then the bottom and the right the same. And when it comes over to here, we might have a little hiccup with having the dimensionals there. So we might go like that, actually, and then you can put a little bit of liquid glue in those corners, because that's the part that will catch them. And then now you want the top, the right, the bottom, and the left here to be about the same margin. And that's what we've got. So that's putting them on. Now for over here, this is a little bit of a problem if you didn't figure it out. The flower, oh, wrong way, hang on. This flower looks like this, but we have that, right? And it's so pretty, why would we want to get rid of it? So what we did is we utilized it. What you're gonna do is you're going to cut your leaf and round it very nicely to make it look like it was never there. And then here you gotta come in so you don't see the stem, and you're gonna go right through the middle and trim this so that no one ever knew that there was a leaf thing hanging off there. So that'll be for that. But now you have to adjust this properly. You got to round this one over here so that this looks better as well, so that no one would ever know that that was connected to it. This one's going to go up here, and we've got this one and this one, and there's another leaf back there. And I think that's why I ended up stamping a second leaf, so that we would have another leaf to put back here, like that. So there is another leaf back there. And you know what? It's actually that leaf right there. So if you look at this, there's one extra leaf that would go right off the card, and it's this little guy right here. So you're gonna have to round, this leaf just like this. Again, we're gonna utilize that. All right, now I've got it in my head. So that's now what we have, right? Okay. All right, so then what we're gonna need, a little dimensional there, and what you can do is put a little liquid glue along the bottom, and then that stem kind of sticks right underneath there, like that. Perfect. Our little banner needs a dimensional on the right side, the left side, and it's a little bit longer than what it needs to, so you really are going to want to trim it right about here, and then you're going to use liquid glue over here, and that gets positioned something like so. All right, and then we've got ribbon. We've got chills and they're multiplying. We got ribbon and it's multiplying. No, it's not. But what you want to do, grab one waiting in the wings, and this ribbon is going to go between this right leaf and the left leaf, and just put that back here. And we have a loop and a tail, so you've got plenty of it. You could even do 2 loops and a tail. 2 turntables and a microphone, that's where it's at. So if you do a loop and a tail, you've got lots left over. But if you want to see 2 loops, 2 scoops of Raisin Bran, you could do a loop, and have the tail come out like that. And then you really have just enough. And that back is not very secure though. You need to flip that over and make sure you get some tear and tape on that pronto, because that's going to fall right out later in life. So you've got to squish it down real good, like that. And then you can trim your tail here, because why not do it right now. And so I added a loop, and a tail, where I only have a loop there, but we cut you 4 inches. And then you're going to grab a dimensional and a dimensional. Dimensional over here, let's put one. And I think we're going to do one more up here. And sometimes I like the leaves to look like they're like kind of popping out, but the middle to be flat. So in this case, I think what we'll do is put a little liquid glue here in the middle. And then you can position this right on here. So that ribbon is coming, the flower is kind of going that way, which I'd rather have it go this way, but there's no way to really do that without losing some of this leaf. And I didn't want to lose some of that leaf. So we're going to just sneak it in here. Let it be what it is, right there. All right, then we have this little doohickey left. Now you do have a bunch of, we made an extra leaf, but let's see what we got here. So I'm gonna just hold this. That glue needs some heat from your fingers to press down. And so what's really cool is it looks like the flower's coming up by putting the dimensionals around the edges and having it flat in the middle. All right, so this one is gonna go over here. You can use this leaf, the smaller leaf back here, and then you're gonna have the bigger leaf tucks in the front. All right, so we're gonna do, let's see, just to keep it simple. I think we're going to grab a mini glue dot. Let's grab a mini glue dot, put it on the back side of the stem part. Oh, and then it's stuck to the glass here. And we're gonna attach the leaf back here. I don't know, something like that. Works for me. And then we're going to grab another glue dot, and we're going to put that behind the flower over here. And I'm going to put a little dot of liquid glue, a teeny tiny. Hi, Mitzi Stanley. I'm glad you like the cards. the little dot of liquid glue there. And so what we're gonna do is catch the back leaf here, and the glue dot is gonna go on the front. Oh, like, sorry, I said that backwards. The liquid glue is in the front and the glue dot's on the back side. Now, you have this extra leaf. We made an extra one. You could put another one right there and have that coming out the back like that. I think that looks really nice. So let's grab a glue dot here and throw it around like we just don't care. That guy right there. Super cool. Cool beans and bagels, right? All right, then a leaf, or a dimensional there. And I think I want a dimensional behind my leaf. And then grab another glue dot. Oh man, we have one left. That's meant to be. All right, say goodbye to another thing. And then this, it's gonna go right about, it covers up your seam here so you don't see that seam. Perfect. Love it. All right. Then we've got some gemsies left here. I got them all hanging out up in the top left corner. Those guys like that. Hi, Marie Jenkins from Virginia. So glad that you caught me live too. Like that. All right, then we're gonna bring the Stella pen back out. She got a little bit of a workout finally this time. And I'm gonna start with the pink again and work my way up. Work my way up. Get those flowers, Stella. Perfect. Okay. Thanks, Catherine Healy. And then we're gonna do a little bit of the green. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Stella adds so much. All right. That's what I've got for you for these cards. I will bring in all three of them. You're very welcome, Marie. I am very happy to share all these with you guys. And you get to see them all again. And you know the drill. I always like to know which one's the favorite. So we are going to have you guys tell me that while I get stuff situated and in order here. Let's see. I don't know. Which one would I pick? I have a hard time. I love the 3 or the 4 DSP strips here. Like that really, I like that. I like that look a lot. But this is also a really cool layout where you have your 3 squares like that and then having a focal image in each one of them. I think that we really showed people. So you either loved the coffee paper, like that latte paper, or you didn't, right? You either loved it or you hated it. And I think before people saw this class, there were more people that disliked the coffee paper than I saw or kind of sensed that liked it. But then when we used the coffee paper in a way that wasn't associated with coffee at all, it really showed people that, wow, there's a backside to the paper that you can utilize, and you can use the paper in a completely different fashion. And it surprised people because that was kind of like the general chitter chatter that I heard when we were showing off the cards. Oh man, that's the coffee paper. Oh man, that's the latte paper. Oh man, I didn't really think anything of it until I saw these cards, and that was awesome. And there is a Magnolia set from a few years ago. I think it was in the year 2019. They had Good Morning Magnolia. So in case you're good on the Magnolia set, like that stamp set, I think you could have it very easily used with these cards as well. Super cool. So while you guys are coming in, oh, Connie loves them all. Love the first one, which was that one. Yes, definitely agree. Angelique likes the 4 panel. Judy likes the chocolate one. I think that this is the chocolate one. Amy said the second one, which is that one too. Yay. All right. Laura says it's hard to choose, but she likes the last one. Very good. Very good. Well, while you guys are coming in, I'm going to share with you. We did, yesterday was Sunday. We did get Let's Just Stamp Design for next month. Nedra likes them all. Can't wait to make them. Yay. Randy says love them all, but the last one is her favorite. Good, good, good. Brenda says the happy birthday card. Yes, there's something. They're so pretty. I love them. So we designed yesterday Let's Just Stamp featuring Labeled with Love for next month. And these are what we're doing for next month. And it features that butterfly set called Labeled with Love that comes with this label. You can either get it as a stamp set or you can get it as a die. And so we've got, I should separate the pinks. And you won't need much either for these. A couple sentiments we used, and then there are a few a flower stamp that got used, a background stamp, and then butterflies. So Again, we tried to keep it so that it would appeal to a beginner, but very also elegant, pretty cards that appeal to any crafter. And this one we tried to make it look like a birthday present with the wrapping on it. And then on this one was some butterflies, and this one has the flower on it. So very cool. And that's what we're working on. Did you guys notice here? We did a little bit different concept with the panel. On this one, we kept the 3 designer paper strips in the middle contained. So, but looks very different than that one. So you guys can already get signed up. It's always the better, it is always better when you sign up sooner rather than later, because it gives us an idea if we're okay on our quantities. Like, we're prepping for the same quantity number for this class as we did for this one. And it just depends. You guys, sometimes you love a set, and then you more people get the class. And then if you don't always get so excited about it, less people get it. So it helps us understand our quantities for forecasting if we know ahead of time how many people are starting to sign up. So, but yes, this is really good. All right, let me pull out my book here, and we're gonna do, hi, Hildenel. Hildy, I did research. I got your message last week. Oh my gosh, I realized I never replied. I did listen to your voicemail about the system for the electronic wavelength thing on the foot. And then I realized I had to have a prescription, and my doctor took a little while to get back to me before I could reach out. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to see how I heal up this coming week, and then we'll go from there with that. So it would have been awesome sauce if for any reason you would have had yours. I would have been putting that on my foot twice a day, definitely. We're going to go to random number generator. I had 10 people. Oh, look at that. It's number 10. So when I hit generate, it's going to come up with a number. It may or may not be 9, and it happens really fast. So I'm going to hit generate. Number 2, scoops of Raisin Bran. Number 2, let's just stamp, is Donna Grushki. Yay, Donna. So you are the winner for the door prize here. Love it. So I will make sure I get that logged in my book and also get something set aside for you for the next time. So Jamie says she got the Label with Love set and got the French version. Oh no, call them. It has happened in the past where one of my customers ordered the French one by accident, and they, instead of me sending back the French one for my customer, they actually just sent the English version. And so they made it super simple, Jamie. So don't hesitate to reach out them. Tell them the operator error was on your part and that you're wondering how they recommend fixing the error. Like, put it on them to see once. Maybe they'll say, oh, we'll just send you the English. And they might say, send it back. It might depend on who you get, I guess. So you're very welcome, Donna Grushki. Okay, you guys. Well, I have a little bit to do this afternoon, and I'm going to start working on that. One of them is revolving around making the Mystery Night clues 2 through however many I need. And so I'm going to work on that next. Like, that is my goal. And I don't have any new Happy Mail to show anybody, so I will maybe have more Happy Mail to share with you guys tonight. I'm just looking around. Did I miss anything? I don't feel like I have much else to share with you. We're going to keep this class a little bit shorter, yay! And I'll see you at 6 o'clock tonight for Mystery Card Night. So hopefully you guys have time today to get your pieces pulled. Now, there's not a lot. I think there's a base, like 2 white pieces, 2 coordinating cardstock 2 layers, and maybe a coordinating cardstock 3 layer, and a pattern paper. So there's really not much for the one, and it's going to be a nice easy card. I think it's not going to like stress us out too much or exercise our brain too much, but I think you're going to be very happy with the layout of the card when we go to put it together. So yay! I think that's it. If I missed, yes, Donna Grushki, that is exactly. She said, and they will tell you to donate your French class at school. That is exactly what they will say. Thank you so much, Mitzi Stanley. I appreciate the best of luck at my appointment tomorrow morning. I definitely am going to go back to my couch right now and put the ice pack back on and elevate it above my knee and work at the computer for the next couple hours. And then we'll be back here at 6 for class for Mystery Night, and that will be good. So I hope you guys had a good afternoon with the Let's Just Stamp class with the Magnolia. They were very fun, pretty soft, subtle, like calming cards to me. So it was a lot of fun working on them, and hopefully you guys learned a little bit about how to do a little blending if that was newer to you, and some tips and techniques and tricks for putting cards together. So all right, you guys, I love you a long time. Lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. We'll catch you in a few hours. Bye.